In a quiet town steeped in history, there exists a shop where time seems to stand still. Among its many relics is a doll that should never be touched, bound by a chilling warning that many have foolishly ignored. Act 1. The warning. Ms. Elsie, the shop's owner, inherited this ominous figure from her grandmother, who had a trove of macabre tales tied to it. According to legend, the doll was crafted by a heartbroken toy maker whose daughter died tragically young. He made the doll in her image, capturing not just her likeness, but unknowingly her spirit. Miss Elsie says, many who've touched it have experienced misfortune, sickness, nightmares, even worse. That's why it stays in the glass. Best leave it be. Act 2. The Dare. Despite warnings, the curiosity and bravado of youth often lead to folly. Tyler, feeling bold and skeptical, decided he would be the one to prove the legend wrong. As soon as Tyler's fingers grazed the doll, the air grew cold, and a shadow seemed to pass through the room. The other kids laughed it off, but Tyler couldn't shake the feeling that something was now terribly wrong. Act 3. The Consequences. That night, Tyler's sleep was filled with nightmares of a little girl, her face pale and eyes hollow. He woke frequently, each time feeling as if he were being watched. When dawn finally broke, he found his room disheveled, his belongings thrown about and no sign of a break-in. Desperate for answers, Tyler and his friends returned to the shop, where Miss Elsie listened to their tale with a knowing sadness. Miss Elsie says, "I warned ye. The doll doesn't like to be disturbed. She's lost and looking for company, someone to share her eternal loneliness." Act 4. The Resolution. Tyler, realizing the error of his ways, apologized to the doll, hoping to make amends. As he placed her back under the protective glass, the atmosphere lightened, the oppressive dread lifting slightly. Miss Elsie, whispering to Tyler, "Sometimes acknowledgement and respect are all the spirits seek. But remember, some things are better left untouched." Act 5. The Lesson. Tyler and his friends learned a valuable lesson that day about respect and the boundaries between the living and the spirits tethered to our world. As for the doll, she remains in her glass prison, her stare blank yet somehow aware. So next time you feel the urge to challenge a legend, remember the story of the doll that should never be touched. After all, some stories are warnings, and some warnings are meant to save us from fates we cannot see.